Oh, all right. Hello again. My name is Emma and welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. And I'm again a little crooked. I'm always trying to make sure I'm not crooked. Every time I think I'm not crooked, I still am. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Okay, so Easter is over, and now to get on to all the other things that I plan on doing. But for today, we're just going to continue on updating the books that I've been reading. And right now, I'm reading Unhappily in Love. So that's what I'm into right now. It doesn't have like chapters like the other books usually do. It has chapter 1, chapter 2. It just has titles and that's it. But right now what we're having today, and if you don't mind joining me for a cup of tea and a little small bite to eat because I haven't eaten yet, is I'm still having the pomegranate. I haven't had time to go and get a different kind of tea. Not that I haven't, just haven't really been looking, to tell you the truth. But I think I mentioned I do want like an orange zing or kind of like a blueberry taste. So those are the two that I'm trying to look for. And I'll see if I can, find something similar. Or like I had mentioned before, I just might have to end up ordering it. Now, I wouldn't mind joining a tea club, but most of the things that I've been seeing that they have doesn't really inspire me to be part of it or to join. They really don't have nothing that I would feel like, oh, I should get that every month because they have this and this and this and this and that. They don't, so they don't even have like a little pamphlet or magazine or something to talk about whatever they're doing. Nothing. It's just teas and maybe some kind of little thing or trinket, but that's about it. So I'm like, no, don't really want to do that. So I'm going to postpone doing a tea time, joining any tea club for right now until I see something that's worth me paying and getting something back that would be worth my while. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so the one I'm drinking is from Bigelow, and it's pomegranate pizzazz. So I still have a lot of these left, and this is how it looks like right there. So that's what we are drinking, and you have to just bear with me because for some reason I caught some kind of allergy or cold. I don't have symptoms of a cold, but I just keep sneezing and sneezing and sneezing. I don't feel sick. I just keep sneezing. This one came out tasting really good. I'm also having a little bite to eat. So I'm just having like a regular cold cut sandwich. It just has ham. It has ham, salami, lettuce. I like mustard. I'm not too fond of mayonnaise in my sandwiches. I'd rather have something with a more spicy, even though I don't consider mustard spicy, even though they do have some out there, but it does have a little tang to it, and that's what I like. Mustard, I could eat it like, mayonnaise, like if I'm eating potato salad or something like that, but not in a sandwich. And then I just have salami, turkey, ham, and lettuce, tomato, and then the pickle on the top. So that's what we are eating right now. So this is easier to carry. It's kind of like a little bit slipped here. And And I do like pickles with anything, so I can have pickles all day with any kind of meal that I have. What, puppy? What's wrong? You got your food over there. I guess you do. But he's like, but I want your sandwich. You make me laugh. You just sit there and go, well, I'll just wait until somebody gives me something. Yeah? Yeah? You're so pretty. Hey, I'm not pretty. I'm handsome. Right? You're handsome? Yeah? Do you want my sandwich? Yeah? There's a meat in there. I'm always sharing my food with them. Well, I'm going to eat this pickle. He's eating it. I did not know that dogs like carrots. So I'm gonna try and give him some carrots later on and see if he'll go for it. They say it's supposed to be good for their teeth, so I don't know. Okay, so let's get. He's like, let's grab this sandwich. I'm gonna leave that over there. Okay, so let's get onto this book, which I'm reading, and it's called Napoli in Love. And this is a good book. It's basically about, it's almost like a trio of an entanglement of these people who are in a Hollywood theme. And what they're doing is that she feels like she's being threatened by her husband's co-star, because he's a movie star. And so she's trying really hard not to like play into that movie, you know, like scene and the Hollywood thing. She's just even though he's into all that, the glitz, the glamour, all of that, she's like the homebody who just wants to bake and keep the house clean and take care of her kids. Just like a regular homemaker. That's what she's about. Very simple person. But because he's into that thing, she has to be like part of it, whether she likes it or not. So the last time we left off on a publicist that came her way and wanted to have an interview with her about her star husband. And she's like, oh, we just have a few questions. I just have a few questions, and if is it okay? And she's like, no, he's not here, and I don't want to answer any questions without him being here. So she's like, oh, well, can we talk about some things that happened in the past? And I think that's where we left off, that she had informed her that Jake, the movie star, her husband, had an affair before they got married. And she's like, no, that's not true. I don't believe in that, and that he would have told me. And that's where it gets now kind of like, so what's going to happen? You know, so right now she was just contemplating on it. She had to take her daughter Maya to ballet school. So you know, she lives in this big, humongous house, I guess, with a lot of rooms, like all movie stars do. And you know, she's going around the house trying to look for this and trying to look for that. And she was like, well, everything in all these rooms that I have to go through, I don't have to exercise, because all the heavy plants that she has to move here and there is like weight, lifting up weights by itself. So she's like, I don't have to work out. That's my workout. So, getting ready to go to this the ballet lessons and everything. So she goes with her friend, her friend is named Miriam, and they go to the lessons, and they're watching their kids do their little play or whatever skit that they're supposed to be doing on stage, and the what do you call it? The teacher ends up, saying goodbye because they were getting ready to leave. And she's talking to Maya and whispering something to her and saying that, just in case your dad doesn't make it to the recital, I'm going to have the whole, play or whatever skit on video. This way he can watch it later. And Maya did tell that to Venus. And Venus said, well, why wouldn't he be here? He's going to be here. And I didn't know why the teacher said that to her. So then they were like, okay, well, she really was kind of upset about the publicist who came to her house the day before and was talking about, Jake's first love. And so she was, in her mind, contemplating about what this whole thing was about. So that day when they went to the lesson and it was over, they ended up going to, or her friend Miriam invited her to her house so they can go and have, a meal, spend some time together. But before that, she has seen a picture of the co-star in Miriam's bag. And she just kept looking at the picture and looking at her, how beautiful she looks, and how, counting all the hair locks on her hair, and and Miriam was all, come on, don't do that to yourself. You even told me yourself that all that is just all sprayed on her. That's not how she really looks. So don't do that to yourself. You go, yeah, but she's so beautiful. So then they ended up going to Miriam's house, and Miriam was inviting Maya's little girlfriend, and then there was this little boy that was there too. His name was Jory, and he was the senator's son. So then the senator, of course, was there too, and he was at the, together with the other girls with the lesson. Oh, well, they, Maya and her little friend said, oh, can Jory come? Can Jory come? And she's like, well, that's up to, to his dad. And he goes, oh yeah, he can go. But this guy is always like making, which gets Venus always mad, because he's always coming out with these sexual innuendos all the time. She just keeps telling him, stop it, knock it off. And because he'd be inviting him to, oh yeah, I would like to come. And then he goes, we didn't mean you, we meant Jory. So then Miriam's, well, I don't mind if he comes, and Vanessa gives him a look like, no, he's not coming. She goes, oh, well, maybe another time, and we'll drop off Jory when, when we're done and so forth. And so they ended up going to Miriam's house and everything, and it's already kind of like late. It has to be late, because when they went to her house and, they're ready to go into her house, like a mansion, because her house is big too, obviously. And she couldn't, when she tried to put on the lights, the lights wouldn't go on. Everything was like, they were totally in the dark, and she couldn't see where she was going. And then she got upset because obviously her husband didn't pay for the electricity bill, and she got all mad. So then they ended up, the kids ended up getting scared because it was dark, and Jory was kind of like teasing Maya and go, woo. So then Venus didn't like that too much. She goes, okay, let's stop, because she was a little bit intimidated too. It was like, it's dark in here, we can't see anything, we need to get out of here, So so they finally ended up going back to Venus's house, and her mom was there. Her name was Pauletta. And so her mom was really nice to Miriam and stuff like that. And, Miriam was really upset because, she felt embarrassed. Here she's inviting her friend over to spend some time together, and have a little sip of something and have a little good old time. But because of the situation, I'm not having no electricity, and it was cold. She really felt bad. And she couldn't understand why, her husband didn't pay for the bill. And she's like, she doesn't know where all the money is going. Like, it has to be, he's probably fooling around with somebody. And Venus jumps in and she goes, oh, no. Don't think that way. Don't start accusing of something that you're not sure about. But she's like, yeah, well, he's spending his money over here and he's spending his money over there. How come he's not taking care of his the things at home? And then she goes, I hope it has to be a woman. And then she goes, or a man, because she said that they had gone out for dinner and some waiter flattered her husband, and her husband kind of like accepted it, and she was like, okay. So, and she's hoping it, which he wasn't, flattered by a man. She was like, oh no, So then, Miriam was just Venus is just trying to calm Miriam down, and she was still contemplating about what the publicist, the magazine reporter said to her. And then it just seems like Jake and the co-star Serena, they were like, far away. They were at, spending a night at a hotel because they had to be somewhere on a scene the next morning and stuff. So Serena was feeling all, like didn't know what to do with herself, and she, for some reason, she just keeps getting close to Jake, and Venus doesn't really like that. But it just so happens that she calls up Jake in the middle of the night because she's lonely. She doesn't know what to do or who to talk to. And Jake's like, what do you want? Like, I'm trying to get some sleep. We got a busy day and so forth. So he's trying to avoid her, and he goes, oh, why don't you just go to sleep, and leave me alone. But and then finally when she hung up, and again she was still lonely, she ended up calling her father. Larry Lassiter is her father, and she was trying to talk to him. She was like, and he was telling her that she was there. They were, getting ready, to do work the next day, and she was talking to him about Jake, and he's like, don't start trouble. Leave him alone. You yourself told me he's married and he has a family. Leave him alone. But I guess he knew who his daughter was, and she's like, yeah, doesn't really trust her. So that's already telling me that she might be like that Brunch, in their marriage. So, but then who do you call it was reading like a biography on Serena and how she was raised by her mother and how her mother abandoned Serena and Larry Lassiter, which is the father, because she wanted to, go after her own career, and she ended up leaving Serena along with her dad. So she was a go-getter ever since she was little, and her father always thought, oh, you're just like your mom, a gold digger, and she wanted to prove to her dad that she wasn't like that. So she, at a young age, she kept on getting, she wasn't doing good in school, and she was always getting bad grades. So Larry ended up just taking her out and doing home courses or having somebody tutor her until she was like at the age of 17, 18, and then she got a gig, and it just took off from there. But she was always persistent, always a go-getter, always busy, always working. And Venus didn't like that about her. Like, it wasn't like Serena was just all of a sudden just picked out of the blue and became famous. No, she worked her butt off to get where she was going, and Venus really did like that. But so she kind of like at the same time wasn't really worried about her, but because of this magazine person that came, was just putting thoughts in her head. But at the end of the day, she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna worry about it, because if it's true, Jake would have told me. So we don't know where that's going to go right now. So that's where I'm at right now with with this book. So we're going to see in the next few chapters what happens. And then there's another little boy that Larry was talking about, Christopher, I think his name was. And he said, oh, Christopher is here. And then she like didn't really comment or anything. So Serena just hung up. Now, the thing is Christopher her and Jake's son? Or is, it's like, where did this kid come from all of a sudden? So it's like, because Venus has Maya, and now Serena has Christopher. It's like, and Jake supposedly had, Serena was his ex-love years back before they became famous. So, that's where it starts getting like, let's find out who this little boy Christopher, who he is, and whose son does he belong to. So that's going to open up a whole bag of worms, let's so say. So, okay, so that's where we at, and I'll let you know who Christopher, whose son he belongs to, okay? Okay, so that's where we are at the book. And I did want to read a little bit of Emily Post. I really do like everything that she, she puts out. But so, if you want to ask me any questions of, what to do in certain situations, like in sharing expenses or anything like that, or some dining don'ts and do's, or how to mail stuff, or how to act at a table or anything, let me know and I'll read you. I'll try to find it and I'll read you that from Emily's Posts Etiquette 15th edition. Okay, so thank you so much for coming and joining me in like a fish in the sea. So glad you caught me. And yeah, if you enjoyed today, just don't forget to like and comment and subscribe, especially about the Emily Post. I'll be happy to share any answers to the questions you might have about anything that you would want to know how Emily Post would view that, situation. Okay, so, all right. So thanks again, and we will see you next time on Tea Time Tuesday. Bye-bye.